Hey guys, I've got something for you to munch on today. The strength of a woman is not measured by the impact her hardships in life have had on her. The strength of a woman is measured by the extent of her refusal to allow those hardships to dictate who and what she becomes. Powerful, right? Well, let me introduce you to one such woman who fits this description. She is Jessica Marie Michelle. What is so great about her, you ask? She didn't give up. Yep, she simply didn't give up. September is IIH Awareness Month. Is it a coincidence that Jessica Marie Michelle was scheduled for brain surgery in the same month as IIH Awareness Month? IIH Awareness Month and the same month she has to undergo brain surgery. She couldn't wrap her head around it. So many emotions started flowing through her, and most of them were unknown to her. Who would have imagined undergoing a life-saving brain surgery in the same month as the Awareness Month? Perhaps it's a sign of good luck. Perhaps this is just a huge wake-up call, letting Jessica know that her journey has just begun. Incidentally, she's never been a religious person, but today, she strangely felt that she had never been closer to God than she was right at that moment. At this point, she's accepted and surrendered herself and left everything up to those who have the power. Being aware of the fact that this month is meant for raising awareness for pseudotumor cerebri, which is also known as idiopathic intracranial hypertension, an unknown fear clouded her mind. Isn't it hard to raise awareness for something that people know has no cure? The truth is, Jessica's body is deteriorating by this awful disease. It's hard to put this invisible illness into words. Listing symptoms doesn't quite emulate what it's like to actually live with the burden of a body that doesn't function. Throughout her life, Jessica knew something was wrong, but no one would listen until the last part of the year of 2020. This, unfortunately, is her raw experience of living with this awful disease, on top of the many other health conditions associated with it as well. She can say with confidence that these are raw details of what someone would experience who have an invisible illness. This is what they would feel like. No one talks about how you are literally living the human life version of Finding Dory. How you can't remember what you did less than 20 minutes ago, or how your head feels like it's going to explode. Nothing you do, no naps you take, nothing get rid of the pain. It may help manage it, but it never takes it away. Sometimes even medications can fail completely, and you are left with the uncertainty of brain surgery. You literally feel like you're trapped inside your own body. It's the anxiety and depression of not being able to live the life you're used to. You have to adapt and cope with this reality, and you're trying so hard to just be the person you used to be before this ugly disease took over your body. You are truly suffering in silence. Nobody talks about the severity of this disease, how life-changing it is, and how scared you are. Constantly feeling and asking yourself, is this really my life? As soon as you feel God is aware of how awful the pain is, you fear it's never going to end or get any better. It's so hard to carry on normally at work and complete your daily tasks properly and efficiently. Being a mother and having that innocent child looking up at you, expecting you to be 100% is the most difficult part. Jessica feels like she is constantly failing him. But in his eyes, all he sees is his mom doing the very best that she can. No one talks about how your loved ones are being affected. Unfortunately, you're in so much pain that it consumes your energy, and you have no energy for anything or anyone else. It's a constant 24/7 coping with pain. Family members experience strong emotions such as guilt, anger, sadness, fear, anxiety, depression, and so much more. But the naked truth is, they feel desperate and helpless since they cannot help those who suffer from this chronic illness. Their kith and kin want them to feel better. They're eager to help, but they don't know how. They don't understand why this is happening to their near and dear ones. Some of them even run away because it's too hard for them to cope, which is in no way right or fair to those with a chronic invisible illness. But they are stuck with that extra pain of being left alone. Is it helpful to talk about these emotions so everyone feels like they are being heard and validated? Yes. Just because they are living in constant pain doesn't mean their pain and feelings aren't validated. They are just lost, hurt, and confused, just like everyone else. No one talks about the pain within their optic nerves being crushed because of the swelling in their brain, how they can go blind at any minute. The fluctuations in their eyesight is a whole new level of uncertainty. How your ears and nose leak because the pressure is so high and the fluid has nowhere else to go. How people like Jessica, who have severe transverse sinus stenosis, can't drain the fluid because of how narrow their veins are, which leaves them completely vulnerable. No one talks about feeling fine one day, and the next day you can barely get through the day, and how literally things will never be the same. For the general public, it's just like any other illness. People are not aware that IIH affects their moods, vision, train of thought, even their work ethic, and so much more. Doctors don't tell you how you can feel the change in pressure in the atmosphere every single time a bad storm or rain is coming. How it literally makes you feel ill to the point where you can barely do anything. The ringing ears is so loud you can't sleep sometimes. You have a hard time hearing. The weight gain and how weight can actually be a symptom of this disease is heartbreaking. The constant feeling of being exhausted, the pain in your eyes, your ears, your neck, your back, your shoulder, and your head. The fact that no over-the-counter medications and no prescribed medications get rid of the pain. You never know from one day to the next what your days will be like, but you fight like heck to survive. People don't talk about how little doctors are educated on this disease, how so many ghost them and could care less. Your body is shutting down and they don't care. The pressure causes damages that cannot be repaired. It plays havoc on your hormones, or how certain birth controls and different medications can cause IIH. You have no metabolism. Your immune system is completely compromised. You gain weight, and no matter how healthy you eat or how much you exercise, which by the way is impossible when you are dizzy and can't put your head down for fear of the pain, sunlight hurts your eyes. Increase in blood pressure hurts. Humidity hurts. Doctors don't help unless you are strong and informative enough to find someone who will listen. The doctors blame the weight and refuse to look at the clear cycle. They remark it's in your head. Try harder. Take a pill. How about brain surgery? You are a woman, and women get a little sensitive and crazy sometimes. It's probably menopause. Maybe you have a fictitious disorder. Let's refer you to a medical psychologist. They just won't listen to you until it's too late. Nobody talks about how, if not properly treated, you could have a stroke due to the swelling in your brain. How you feel so different after the swelling comes down from an LP, but it accumulates hours after because of how severe your diagnosis is. No one talks about how you don't feel like yourself and how clear it is that there is definite damage done. how the pressure and fluid in your brain can cause pressure on your heart. If the pressure isn't kept under control, you can stroke out and your heart could eventually give out too. The fluid builds up each day and it can shut down the brain. It forces your heart to work even harder than the heart of someone who doesn't have this disease. It is similar to what happens when one dives in the ocean. The pressure builds, and unless the diver has the right equipment, the brain can explode and the heart will eventually fail. The risk of stroke and aneurysms are very real. Every part of your head hurts. It starts to radiate down your neck into your spine. You can feel it in all your joints and the tips of your fingers and toes. Your eyes can't focus from the pain and pressure behind them. You feel electric shocks vibrating down your face and neck. It's a pain no one can see. If there's one thing Jessica has learned, it's not just about the pain. It's the never-ending pain. It's the missing things you can no longer do, missing the person you used to be with. It's the way people look at you as if you're fine or faking it. It's the medical professionals not believing you, the insurance company denying your surgeries and medications, the out-of-pocket expenses that leave you in debt for the rest of your life. It's the doctors not wanting to treat you because you are too complicated for them, or just simply not knowing how to treat you. It's the loss of friends, loss of income, loss of mobility, and loss of self-worth. It's the guilt of not being able to do things, the guilt of being a burden and letting people down, being the cause of added expenses, the guilt of being sick. It's the insomnia and at the same time, the constant fatigue and exhaustion. It's the sadness and the loneliness, being scared, not knowing what's next, not knowing if and when it will get worse or if it will ever get better. It's so much more than pain. Unfortunately, this is the awareness that no one talks about. Jessica has made peace with it and has given herself the acceptance that there's hope. Hope that she can go into remission. Hope that she can have a successful surgery or a type of medication that will put her into remission. Hope that someday someone will find a cure. Jessica's family is the reminder of why she keeps pushing and why she keeps fighting. Look at the way Jessica asserts herself. She says, if you're having days when you feel hopeless, I see you. If you're beyond exhausted and can't see the light at the end of the tunnel, I see you. No matter how many obstacles you're enduring, I see you. I'm never giving up, and I hope all of you IIH warriors join me and do the same. We are our own advocates, and just know I'm here for you. We are rare. We are 1 in 200,000. I'll never forget how far I've come. All the times I've pushed myself when I thought I couldn't. All the times I wanted to give up, but I got through another day. You don't know how much strength Jessica has developed. She will never forget how much strength she has developed along the way. She is determined and will continue to live with this disease for the rest of her life, and it will not consume her. Jessica confidently says, this disease doesn't own her, but it's she who owns the disease. Jessica is fearless. She is a warrior who hopes for a cure. So very simple. Jessica says, if you know anyone with any type of chronic invisible illness or sickness, love and support them in any way you know. Simply be kind and understanding. Just because someone doesn't look sick doesn't mean they aren't. Be kind. So many people are so judgmental and don't realize what people like us go through every single day. There is also that miracle outlook on our lives that I am still holding on to find peace, comfort, to find a miracle. Jessica thoughtfully remarks that her husband and son are her rocks, her lifesavers. Her friends and her community are next, who are simply amazing. It truly takes a village, and Jessica is blessed to have the best supportive and loving village. Jessica says, if you are the praying type, please send some prayers and some good vibes for me and my family. I would greatly appreciate it. Do you know what God says to you, to me, to one and all? God says, do not judge. You don't know what storm I've asked her to walk through. So guys, if you find this story heart-touching and inspiring, like and share it. Inspire someone else.